Hey there, you're listening to the Pursue Your Spark podcast. My name is Heike Yates, and on this show we talk about how to unlock your potential in your fitness lifestyle with tips, strategies, and interviews to help you create the life you love. Well, hello there, and welcome to the Pursue Your Spark podcast. I'm your host, Heike Yates, and in today's episode number 25, we're talking about how to boost your motivation and stop procrastination. So many of us are dealing with this issue and don't seem to find a way out of this mess. If you've been listening to me for a while, you know I'm an action taker and will leave no stone unturned to create real-life solutions to your problems. So are you ready to dive into today's podcast on how to boost your motivation and stop procrastination? Have you heard yourself saying things like, yeah, I really should be doing that, but then in the end, I end up doing something entirely different, wasting my time. Or, I know what to do, but then I never end up doing it. It drives me crazy. Or, I'm so lazy and constantly procrastinate and don't get anything done. Everyone lacks motivation at one point or another. We usually remark on that by saying things like, we need a vacation. I sure have said that before. But if your lack of motivation and procrastination negatively affect your life, it's for sure time to change. Think back. Do you remember the days back in school? You had all the materials you needed to study, took classes on a particular subject so you knew what time they were and when to show up. You pulled all-nighters just to prepare your materials, be ready for the tests, and you had a definite deadline. You knew you would fail the class and potentially not graduate if you didn't do the work. Your goal was to graduate, and you managed that because of all the pressure you were under, the strict deadlines, and the negative outcome of not graduating drove you to succeed. Now, years later, that pressure is no longer there, and you're getting comfortable. You're not as motivated, and more often than not, procrastinate. You may find yourself guilty of the following scenarios. You planned on working out every day, but despite best intentions, you're really not sure why you didn't work out. Or you like to get more done in your day, but continuously procrastinate, ending up getting little to nothing accomplished despite the to-do lists. Or you're frustrated and you strive for better. Whatever better is, better eating, better exercise habits, a better lifestyle, just better, without a plan of action. Or if you work from home, you might find yourself often than not in front of the fridge. Instead of getting your work done, the refrigerator often calling your name instead of your laptop. It's time to nip procrastination in the bud and boost your motivation. Are you ready to dive in? Here are the 6 effective tips to boost your motivation. Number 1, listen to your inner dialogue. Procrastination usually comes in 2 forms. Number 1, it is difficult to start a task, as in, who has time to exercise when there are so many other things that need to get done? Number 2, getting distracted while working on a task. Let's use meal prep for the week, for instance. You bought all the food, have the recipes and best intentions, but then you realize that it's already late and you want to watch your favorite Netflix show. Both patterns have a similar thought process. You tell yourself, I really need to get started on this. And then you feel stressed. And then you feel an urge to do something else. So you tell yourself, I get started soon, but I can't afford another 5 minutes doing this or the other, and then I get back to what I need to do. You might realize this pattern and think, okay, I will not give in to it next time. But still, you glance at your phone. Try this next time you find yourself facing this never-ending cycle. When you're about to start a task and you hear a voice in your head telling you to check your mail, it might be important. Or, I wonder if anyone commented on my Facebook status today. Resist the urge. Tell yourself you can resist your urge and the urge will pass. But just to be sure, I turn my phone on silent and flip it over so I don't see any messages coming in. Number 2, do you really want to change? Set yourself up for success and imagine what your life would look like in 1 year if you continue to stay on the same unmotivated path. This is not to beat yourself up, but to have a reality check in what direction you are heading. It might make you a little uncomfortable to see negative consequences, but it may just kickstart your motivation for a positive change. Ask yourself if you really want a change, because if you don't, then change won't happen. Ask yourself, how will my life look like in 1 year if I get started, stick with it, and keep going with this new change? How will life improve, not only for me, but for the people that I love, if I stick with it? Here's a good example. If you wanted to start exercise every day for 1 hour, but you never do, start by doing this. Take out your journal or any notebook and write the following. Why do you want to start exercising? That's number 1, the first question. What would be the benefit of starting to exercise? It could be because I can enjoy the things in life like travel that are important to me. Now it's your turn. You can stop the podcast right here and write down why you want to start exercising in this case, or do it later as you figure out what it is that you really want to change. Number 2, what keeps me from starting? What are the roadblocks? For instance, wasting time doing pointless things like answering an email instantly instead of scheduled block time, or I feel overwhelmed by too many chores. Number 3, what would be a positive result if I started? What would change? Would you have more energy, feel stronger, feel sexy and confident, rock your life, kick ass in your lifestyle? What is it that would change, that would be a positive result? Now, what would happen if you didn't change? What would your life look like in a year? Tired, no energy, feeling flabby instead of fit, schlepping around all day. What difference would this lifestyle change make in the lives of the people I love? What difference would this lifestyle change make in the lives of the people I love? You could spend more time with them, quality time. You could actually listening to them and their stories, having a conversation instead of having work on mind or be absent-minded. So do this little exercise before you move on. If you're not sure what you really want to change, continue listening. Whether it be exercising more, feeling less stressed, having more energy, lose belly fat and tone, think of what it is that you really want to change. Number 3, don't try to be perfect. Nobody's expecting you to be motivated all the time and never procrastinate ever again. Start with small, manageable steps and keep repeating those steps until you succeed. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, but consistently. And in all honesty, You will not be perfect, and that is okay. Start with small steps. Will feel less overwhelming. Let's see, your plan is to take Pilates 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m. Not making it, you already think you have failed. So let's change that mindset. Start with 3 minutes of exercise per day. I know that doesn't sound like much, but over time you will develop a habit, and it's a great start. I have created an exercise series called the 3 Minutes in Fitness. Short videos with 3 exercises that can be done in 3 minutes. Go check it out, and I will put a link into the show notes. So start with those 3 minutes and then gradually increase your time to 30 minutes 3 times per week. I know it's not an hour a day, but it's a massive step in the right direction. You can always do more, but you have to get started in order to accomplish your goals. Keep working on your baby steps until they become a habit. You know, I always say, strive for the ideal and not perfectionism. That is something I learned from teaching Pilates, and it reduces so much stress and anxiety and allows for more space to enjoy the things you love on your own terms. You are ready to change your life, but lack confidence to take the first steps towards your fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle goals because you don't know where to start. Or you understand the basic principles of a healthy lifestyle, but you feel overwhelmed and need a step-by-step action plan to help you get started. Or you feel like you're spinning in place and you're so ready for a fitness lifestyle overhaul to achieve results that last. Does that sound familiar? Then you might like my 7 Days to Ignite Your Spark Planner. It's a 7-day accountability program where you take small but specific action steps each day so you feel confident and fearless in your life. The program is sent directly to your inbox once you pay, and you have instant access to the 7 Days to Ignite Your Spark Planner. I will put a link in the show notes so you can get your hands on the 7 Days to Ignite Your Spark Planner today. Number 4, recognize when it's time to declutter. You may feel stuck and overwhelmed and think, what's the point? And keep clicking away on Netflix while lying on the couch instead of hitting the trails. When you feel stuck like this, it's time to declutter your life. I'm not talking about the closet, but your to-do lists, obligations at school, work functions, and you know your own list because the list can go on and on. Ask yourself these 2 questions. What would I do if I only had 30 minutes for exercise or meal prep, for instance, today? What are the activities that would give me energy and benefit my goals? Start asking those questions and see what things you can eliminate, minimize, or delegate that don't serve you to reach your goals. Here are some ideas to get started. You could leave work just 30 minutes earlier and use that extra time and exercise. You can grab your family and play a game. That gets everybody going. It's healthy for everybody, and it sure is fun to play a game together. I mean an active game, not a board game. Let's be clear on that. Or you have the kids or the husband, or all of them, chop the vegetables for you while you go and exercise. You could also make cooking a family affair. Everyone chips in, and it's so much fun to prepare a meal together that you afterwards enjoy together. Teaches kids to cook. Love it. Doing the laundry can also be a family activity, although I prefer to delegate it. So there's some ideas to get you started on how you can declutter your life and delegate, eliminate, or minimize things that don't serve you. Number 5, when is the best time for your best work? Imagine this. Your day starts something like this. getting up, drinking coffee or tea while checking your email for 5 minutes. But then you also want to see what's going on over on Facebook because you slept all night and something important must have happened that you just don't want to miss. Then hours later, you realize you spent hours in a seemingly endless loop of procrastination instead of what you really wanted to do. So determine what your best time is and get your best work done then. It might be in the morning before all the distractions of the day, or in the evening when the bulk of your chores are done. Everybody is different. For myself, I'm a morning person. I love mornings and I get my best work done then. When I started Pursue Your Spark and worked on the podcasts and blog posts, I switched my workouts, which I also love to do in the morning, to a little bit later in the day. Once I finished my hours of podcasting or blogging and things and creating materials, I was happy that I put my best mindset to my work and then started working out afterwards. It still is earlier in the day where I have enough energy. But that's me. Be sure to block all distraction and get started. At first, you may only last 10 minutes or whatever the time is, but over time, you'll be able to get more of your best work done for a longer period of time. Give it your best effort. You know you can do it. On to number 6, get an accountability partner. Someone that is positive and helps you reach your goal. For instance, a workout buddy will make a perfect accountability partner. That's somebody that you meet, let's say, every morning for a walk at the same time and perhaps at the same place. Can be a fantastic motivator. You know he or she will be waiting for you no matter what the weather or your mood. My running group is just that kind of accountability partner. We meet up for our long runs on the weekends and we have so much fun, but they also hold me accountable when I don't show up. And they usually put little remarks in Facebook or on Instagram along the lines of, so, did we sleep in today? Or, was it too hot for you to run? Or something like, you really missed a great run today. So they do hold me accountable. They know when I'm not there. So that may be just the right thing for you. So there you have it. 6 effective tips to boost your motivation and stop procrastination. Number 1, listen to your inner dialogue. Really know what you're telling yourself. Number 2, do you really want to change? Are you ready for a change? You need to know. Number 3, don't try to be perfect. We're striving for the ideal, but definitely not perfectionism. Number 4, recognize when it's time to declutter or delegate. Number 5, when is the best time for your best work? Get it done then. Number 6, get an accountability partner, which is not only fun, but very beneficial. So thank you so much for listening. I want to hear what steps work best for you, so please share them with me. If you would like my help, then book a coaching call with me at heike@heikeyates.com. I would love to help you out. Until next time at the Pursue Your Spark podcast, thanks for being here. It means the world to me. Ciao.